One of the biggest problem the humanity is going to face in next 5 years is not HIV, AIDS or population or terrorism. No. One of the biggest problem humanity is going to face in next 5 years is deaths due to boredom and tiredness. Whatever you want to give, people don't want to live anymore. They are bored. Give them pizza, they are bored. Okay, provide them all the varieties of sex. No, they are bored. Pornography, they are bored. Entertainment, bored. Alcohol, bored. Drugs, bored. Facebook, bored. TV, bored. This is one of the biggest problem humanity is going to face within next 5 years. Understand? Feeling bored means denying your life, denying the possibilities of your space and time meeting. It is a very important truth. I have decided I will do a 2-day program, just like Nitya Yoga, on conquering time. I really want to help people to get out of boredom. Understand? If boredom captures you, nothing can make your life happy. I am not promoting drinking, smoking, pornography, womanizing, all that. I am not promoting. But all I am trying to tell you is, boredom is much worse than all this. Even with all this, if you are able to keep yourself excited, at least okay, be alive. All these become outdated. Drinks, womanizing, marijuana, whatever you call it as a pleasure. Vacation, cruise, this, that. Everything has become old-fashioned, old style. Now all this no more attracts the next generation. We have seen what is there next. We have seen what is there next. Human beings have gone to the extreme. Now nothing more excites. I am not even looking at 10 years. I am looking at next 5 years. The grand collapse of human civilization due to boredom. Understand? The human civilization is moving towards, heading towards grand collapse, not because of economical meltdown, no global political crisis, no terrorism, no HIV AIDS, or no virus, no aliens attack. No. All that is not going to be a big problem humanity will face. The share market melting down, banks becoming bankrupt, no. Global warming, no. Within next 5 to 10 years, the biggest blow the human civilization is going to face is boredom. Human civilization will collapse due to boredom if we don't teach people to conquer time. It is time people learn the science of conquering time, so that the constant excitement, joy, celebration, looking forward to life, having hope on life, joy. You see, something has to pull you towards the future. You can't always be pushed from the past. See, being pushed from the past is dragging your life. Something has to pull you from the future. Only then you will run with excitement. Please understand, being pushed by the past, being pulled by the future, there's two big difference. Pushed by the future, you will be just flying, dancing. So the science of conquering time need to be taught to the world. Mahadeva very beautifully gives around 35 verses on the science of time. Very recently I read. I may not be able to translate all that 35 and transmit that knowledge, that experience to all of you in this one question answer. I'll soon, we will have a 2-day program, just like Nityadana Yoga, conquering time. This will be my gift to all of you from Agama. looks too big, and human brain has been destroyed by the Macaulay's education system not to grasp too big things. It is like a vicious circle, I tell you. If the dinosaurs, non-veg cannibal dinosaurs, and aliens who eat human beings, if they come and eat us, they will be very happy because we are filled with antidepressants. No, we will be very delicious, full of antidepressants. Lifestyle where you need antidepressants even to keep your day moving. Is that freedom? With that body and mind, what will you cognize? I tell you, for you to know, cognize what is freedom, you need first 21 days Haritaki cleansing. Every night have Haritaki, detoxify your body. Your brain is not capable of cognizing freedom. Sorry to tell you the truth. I am telling you straight. The amount of toxins in your system, chemicals in your food, the plastic food you are eating. In modern India, even the so-called Indian food has enough chemicals and toxins which stops your brain cognizing larger concepts and truths. When I am making somebody manifest powers, giving them conscious breakthrough, the first thing I need to do is preparing the physiology by detoxifying. I tell you, if your physiology is pure, even if you collapse from higher consciousness, this will support you to regain, get back. But now your system is so weak. Forget about losing a war. Even losing a small battle, you collapse. You have not lost the war, but a small battle you lost, but you collapse. How many of you understand, cognize what I am saying? Even losing a small battle, you will collapse. Understand? Because the idea of Swatantratva is too big to cognize, we settle down with freedom. Whether fixing your goal or your methodology, do not be dependent on anything else other than your independent intelligence. Your independent intelligence does not need to be violent or angry, saying no to everyone. I am not asking you to become hippie, antisocial. No. Actually, antisocial fellows are the biggest slaves of the society, because all the time they need to know what society wants and they have to do opposite. If society take bath twice and then don't take bath once even full week, they have to make their laws against these laws. If they say let's use euro, then you have to say let's use dollar. You have to be constantly following the society to be antisocial. Intelligence does not have the spice of anti in your system. Listen carefully. Don't be the dump yard for ideologies and products in the name of freedom. Don't be a dump yard for somebody to dump their ideologies or the products in the name of freedom. Second, do not cognize saying no as the main principle or quality of freedom. Appa, these Indian teenagers and the ABCDs, American born, confused desis. No, really. Maybe I can make it into abroad born, confused desis, not just American born. Abroad born, confused desis, ABCDs. We call them NRIs and RNIs, non-residential Indians and residential non-Indians. These two bunch, RNIs of the major Indian cities and NRIs of the major Western cities. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, especially these teenage kids, they feel saying no is declaring their independence, which is not. That is what I call that instinct of no being supported and groomed and wrongly named as maturity is getting branded as freedom. Listen, end of the day, all these concepts hurts you when you are facing your reality. Listen carefully. Life is no more just food and shelter. Maybe in 1960s, it was all about food and shelter for our earlier generation, not for us anymore. Unfortunately, we have come out of all the survival needs. Understand, I am using the word unfortunately. Unfortunately, we are out of all the survival needs, but not ready to reclaim the knowledge of living from our traditions. Understand? If you are caught in survival needs like 1960s, okay, already, at least you are busy with something. Or you are out of all the survival needs and you also have the knowledge of life along with the luxury of life. But Hindus all over the world, especially Indians, are facing a very important, crucial problem where everything for life is available, nothing about life is available. Everything for life is available, nothing about life is available. Because नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ। आज हम जीवन के चौथे तत्व करना के साथ कैसे धन एवं संपत्ति को पा सकते हैं, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे। Today I'll continue to expand on fourth principle of life, enriching नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ। आज हम जीवन के चौथे तत्व लाभान्वित करना, इसके साथ कैसे धन एवं संपत्ति को पा सकते हैं, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे। Today I'll continue to expand on fourth principle of life, enriching, how it expands your wealth. First statement I wanted to make, listen. Enriching takes away your tiredness and boredom. With enriching, the important principle of not giving upon you and not giving upon others become lifestyle in you. Listen. Not giving upon you and not giving upon others becomes lifestyle in you when you decide to enrich. लाभान्वित करना आपके असलीपन, आलसीपन एवं थकावट को दूर कर देती है। ध्यान से सुनिए, लाभान्वित करना आपके आलसीपन एवं थकावट को दूर कर देती है। You need to know. Please listen. You need to know, when you decide to enrich you and others, first thing, the fatigue and tiredness with which you give upon yourself and others disappears from your being. This is the important vow for a sannyasi. The danda sannyasi carries represents not giving upon oneself and others. Authenticity is the Rudraksha ornament. Not giving upon others and yourself is the danda, staff you carry. Don't give upon others and yourself. Constantly, again and again and again, enriching yourself, inspiring yourself. Every day, the possibility for transformation is open. Listen. जीवन का चौथा तत्व लाभान्वित करने की परिभाषा पुनः सुनिए। लाभान्वित करने का अर्थ है आप संपूर्ति एवं श्रद्धा के साथ उत्तरदायित्व उठाइए कि आप लगातार स्वयं को और आपके अंदर एवं बाहर की जीवन को लगातार लाभान्वित करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हो। I tell you, when you decide to enrich others, life just pours, showers itself on you. I have seen in my life. The moment you decide your life is for others, there is a big shift in the way you think, the way you act, the way you live. Even if you are continuing the same business, the way you work is different. Your response is different. Above all, your profits are higher. Enriching is you taking responsibility with integrity and authenticity that you are committed to continuously enriching, which is expanding yourself and life in and around you. Enriching takes away your tiredness and boredom. जब आप लाभान्वित करने लगते हैं, आप अपने आप पर विश्वास ना को देना और दूसरों पर विश्वास ना को देना, ये आपकी जीवन शैली बन जाती है. ये आपकी जीवन शैली बन जाती है. When you live these 4 principles, in your very cognition, where the instruction for expansion or contraction is given, that very cognition expands. Listen, these 4 principles directly works on your very software, inner software. Your inner software is your mind. These 4 principles expands the very possibility of your inner software. It is literally writing new software. When you bring these 4 principles into your life, I tell you, you create the reality of your choice. You create the reality of your choice. ध्यान से सुनिए. जब आप स्वयं को एवं दूसरों को लाभान्वित करते हैं, तब आप रशीन एवं थकावट बारे जीवन से उबर कर अपने सर्वोच्च क्षमता में जीवन जीने लगते हैं. I tell you, when you decide to enrich yourself and others, even in your own business, you will feel life is fresh, new. It will not be boring. It will not be tiring. Please listen. When you are bored, whatever you do to cover the boredom, the hide the tiredness, makes others tired and bored of you. Few days before, Pranananda came and reported to me, my sannyasi. He got a call from one devotee. She was crying. My sannyasi was shocked and he asked, "Why are you crying?" She started telling, "No, another one devotee came to my house and whatever he was speaking, I am not able to tolerate." And he was telling all sorts of nonsense about himself, bragging about himself, and the way he was declaring about himself was so boring and tiring. When Pranananda reported to me, I really started laughing. I could not control, because I know this devotee who called Pranananda and the devotee who went to the house. I know both of them. Please listen, listen. When you are tired of you, bored of you, anything you try to do to cover your boredom about you bores others, brings boredom to others. Listen. If you see in your life people are bored of spending time with you, nobody wants to spend time with you. People are bored of you. How many of you feel people are bored of you? Nobody wants to spend time with you. Immediately after some time, people want to move out of your space. Raise your hand. How many of you cognize people are bored of you? Then you must be bored of you. You must be bored of you. Because you are bored of you, anything you do to cover that, people are bored of you. Many times people are bored of you, they don't tell you directly, because you will start screaming. So they just move out very gracefully, using some other reason. If you do not have 90% of the people who interact with you as friends and people who love you, I can tell you, you are bored of you. People are also bored of you. They just don't tell you because you will scream. The 90% of the people with whom you interact, if they love you, if they are your friends, if they just love to spend time around you, then I can say, you are not bored of you. I tell you, joy means others not getting bored of you. Bliss means you not getting bored of you. When others don't get bored of you, it is joy. When you don't get bored of you, it is bliss. When others get bored of you, you are masochist. When you are bored of you, you are sadist. It is not easy to sit with somebody. I tell you, it must be much worse than prison. Even in prison, they are not able to depress me because I am not bored of me. But if you are bored of you, or you are with somebody with whom you are bored, your life must be worse than prison. It's almost like a Kala Bhairava torturing you by not moving. Time torturing you by not moving. बोलिए कितने लोगों को लगता है कि अन्य लोग आप से तक गए हैं। जब आप रसहीन होते हैं तब आप जो भी कार्य करते हैं, उस कार्य से अन्य लोग भी रसहीनता का अनुभूति होती है। यदि आपको लगता है कि अन्य लोग आपसे तक गए हैं, वास्तव में आप अपने आपसे तक गए हैं, जब अन्य लोग आपसे तक नहीं जाते हैं वह संतोष का स्थिति है। जब आप स्वयं से नहीं तक जाते हैं वह आनंद की स्थिति है। मैं आपको कहता हूं, जब आप अपने आपको और दूसरों को लाभान्वित करते हैं, यहाँ तक कि आपने व्यवसाय में आप महसूस करेंगे एक नया ताजा जीवन वह उबाऊ नहीं होगा, वह ताका देना वाला नहीं होगा। आप बोरियत को टकने के लिए जो कुछ भी करते हैं वह अन्य व्यक्ति को टाका और उबा देता है। Only with the principle of enriching, marriage can be successful more than 1 week. No, in 1 week the boredom starts. If it is arranged marriage, 1 week boredom starts. If it is love affair, only after boredom starts you decide to get married. Please listen. If it is arranged marriage, by first week boredom starts. If it is love marriage, only after you feel bored you decide to get married, not before. Otherwise, why will you get married? No, only when you feel bored of the other person, you are afraid he may also be feeling bored of you. You need now security knot. As long as you have not experienced boredom of the other person, you will not feel insecure. The other person is experiencing bored of you. Only after the boredom starts means when he is not opening the purse as much as he used to, when she is not opening the mouth as much as she used to smile. The fear the other may be feeling bored settles in you. Only when you feel insecure, other may be feeling bored of you, now you decide to tie the knot of marriage. Listen, most of the time, marriage is just a confirmation, lifelong insurance, guarantee. You give it to each other, you will love each other. Please understand, I am not against marriage, but I am against the marriage out of incompletions. I really wanted to create a matrimonial website where these basic principles about marriage will be taught to people. After they learn these principles, they will decide to marry. After learning the principles, when you decide, when you want to marry, it will bring stable family. When you don't know the principles, marriage itself may be out of boredom, feeling insecure. Many times in your love, when you are feeling bored, when you are afraid other person may start feeling bored, you decide to get married for the sake of security. केवल लाभान्वित करने का इस तत्व से ही विवाह का बंधन संपन्न हो सकता है. Each time when I ask you to sit in unclutching or nirvikalpa samadhi, you need to be in completion with you, and you need to conquer the boredom about you, feeling tired of you. Only when you conquer the boredom and tiredness, you can sit in nirvikalpa samadhi. Otherwise, the moment you sit and close your eyes, either you are off somewhere or sleep. Either you are off somewhere or switched off. Either you slip away or sleep away. Slipping away is out of boredom. Sleeping away is out of tiredness. These two are enemies of life. कई बार विवाह केवल एक जीवन भर का बीमा है, जिससे आप एक दूसरे को ये प्रमाण देते हैं कि जीवन भर आप एक दूसरे द्वारा प्रेम का अनुभव करेंगे. केवल जब आप दूसरे व्यक्ति से टक जाते हैं, तब ही आपको ये डर लगता है कि दूसरा व्यक्ति भी शायद आपसे तक गया होगा. तभी आपको लगता है कि विवाह का बंधन आपकी सुरक्षा के लिए आवश्यक है. Only when you are bored of the other person, you are afraid the other is also bored of you, and you propose, will you marry me? कृपया सुनिए, मैं विवाह का विरुद्ध नहीं हो. मैं विवाह का विरुद्ध नहीं हूं, किंतु मैं उस विवाह बंधन के विरुद्ध हूं जो अपूर्णता पर आधारित होता है. जब आप में अन्य व्यक्ति के ऊब जाने के भय की भावना बस जाती है, केवल तभी आप असुरक्षित महसूस करते हैं. अब आप शादी की गांठ बांधने का निर्णय लेते हैं. Boredom and tiredness can be life imprisonment. It can just stay inside you and stop you doing anything new in your life. The highest level of boredom happens to people who are constantly working with mind without these four principles. That is why so much of suicide in the field of psychology and psychiatry. All my followers, youth, I tell them either to become a MBBS doctor or psychologist. I tell them to do between these two, any one. If they are my sannyasis, usually I tell them, take up psychology. Because I wanted to revive that field. With these four principles, that field can enlighten the whole world. Without these four principles, I tell you, in this four field only there will be largest number of suicide, percentage of suicide, not now, forever. Because this is the field where people are working constantly with mind. Listen. Person who makes pots, who works with mud, naturally, how much ever he cleans his hand, there will be little mud settling inside the nails. If somebody is working in the charcoal godown, how much ever he takes bath, there will be little charcoal sitting in his hair. Same way, people who work with the mind, without these four principles as a basis for their cognition, how much ever they try, they will have the tiredness and boredom inside them, which is their own inherited, and second, which they accumulated from others. I am really telling you, because of these four principles I saved myself. Otherwise, my disciples would have made me mad long before. I cannot imagine that kind of species come around me. No, I tell you. No, I cannot imagine how you will so much work to destroy yourself. And why will you? See, just to disprove me, you are ready to destroy you. I have seen people, just they want to disprove that what I am teaching is not right. They wanted to prove what I am teaching is wrong. For that sake, they are ready to put themselves in tiredness, boredom, depression, anything, and destroy themselves. Sometimes I ask people, hey, such a simple solution is there for solving the problem. Why don't you solve? No, I am not interested in all these principles. Because the anger they carry towards everything around them, they wanted to, their first priority is they have to prove everybody is wrong. They are not interested in solution. They are interested in proving everybody is wrong. उपजाना एवं थकावट महसूस करना जीवन भर का कैद है। सबसे अधिक उपजा का अनुभव उन लोगों को होती है जो मन के साथ काम करते हैं, किंतु इन चार तत्वों के आधार के बिना। सुनिए, इन चार तत्वों के बिना अगर आप साइकियाट्री के क्षेत्र में है, जहां आप लगातार मन के साथ काम करते हैं, आप अपने अंदर थकावट का अनुभव करते हैं, और यही कारण है कि बहुत सारे साइकियाट्रिक डॉक्टर्स आत्महत्या से अपने जीवन का अंत करते हैं। Why do you think psychiatrists continuously kill themselves? Psychiatrists kill themselves because continuously working with mind, they do not know how to remove tiredness and boredom from themselves and tiredness and boredom from others. I tell you, liars can easily get enlightened because they know how the logic can be used, misused, abused. Successful liar means he knows how to convince the court or confuse the court. Convince the court. If you can't just confuse the court, you win the game. How to use the logic to use, misuse, and abuse, understand. When you catch the truth, easily you will understand how to go beyond logic. You can become enlightened. You can become enlightened. I just wanted you to know the truth. साइकियाट्रिक डॉक्टर्स क्यों लगातार आत्महत्या करते हैं? वे इसीलिए करते हैं क्योंकि वे लगातार मन के साथ करते हैं, मन के साथ काम करते हैं और उनको पता नहीं है कि थकावट एवं उपजा स्थिति से बाहर कैसे आए. If I can revolutionize the spiritual psychology which was practiced by the Raja Gurus, Brahmins of the Vedic age, I'll feel I fulfilled the mission for which I assumed the body. Listen, ध्यान से सुनिए. If I revive the spiritual psychology practiced by rishis, brahmanas, raja gurus, I'll feel I have achieved my life's mission. That's the reason I am telling all my kids to study psychology. All the Krama Brahmacharis, understand, you are going to be doing psychology only. Get ready. I think Gurukul, you should get the syllabus, psychology syllabus, and start teaching for all the Krama Brahmacharis from now. Instead of wasting the time, who won the Panipat war? Now the informations which are no way useful. What is he going to do? Who won the Panipat war? Does any of you remember now? But every one of us studied. Do you know? Who is going to win? The war happens in your house. If you learn that, at least useful for your future. Our education has become completely outdated, unnecessary information. This happened in my life. I studied very little. I was studying diploma in mechanical engineering. One day, the machine shop, they call workshop. Machine shop engineering was the subject I was supposed to study. I went there and they showed me a very costly machine. It's called MNC, multi-numerical computerized machine or something. So they showed me MNC. And then I asked the professor, sir, if I learn to work in this machine, when I get a job, I'll have the same kind of a machine, sir. He said, no, this is outdated 30 years before. Now many modern machines have come. You will not be able to see any of this machine in any workshop. This is outdated 30 years before. Then I asked him, then why are we keeping this still as a syllabus? No, usually in polytechnics and engineering college, our syllabus is 30 years before machineries and syllabus, subjects. So what happened in last 30 years is we have not updated or upgraded our syllabus. I said, oh God, then even if I study this when I go out, it is not going to be any way useful for the job or life. They said, no. From that day I stopped going to the machine shop. No, I said, why should I go? Anyhow, what I am learning here is not going to be useful. They said, no, it is like a base. You put a foundation. After you go out, you go to a industry, they will give you the training, what you should do. I said, better I will take the training directly there. That is why our Indian education system is a complete failure in every line. Listen, every line, maximum we produce clerks. Indian mind is a genius mind. You don't know, 34% of NASA scientists are Indians. In US, in the field of psychology, psychiatry and medicine, Indians are ruling. Hospital and hospitality, both industry in US is completely under the hands of Indians. Hotel, motel, patel. Hotels and motels are only in the hands of patels. Medicine is in the hands of Telugu doctors. American Association of Physicians of Indian origin is one of the powerful body. Please listen. Unfortunately, one of the most untapped resource of India is power of youth. The youth power. Youngsters are never allowed to think by their colleges and universities, and the syllabus taught to them is embodiment of boredom and tiredness. No, really. If you don't have sleep, if you are suffering with insomnia, I tell you, take the mechanical engineering book and study. 3 pages are enough. You will fall asleep. Because I am mechanical engineering, I am telling you this. If you are suffering with insomnia, I know now why US is suffering with insomnia. They don't have education syllabus like India. Why we Indians never suffer with insomnia? Because we have books and we have a habit of reading. We have books which are filled with the tiredness and boredom, and we have the habit of reading it. I tell you, export all these books. US will be free from insomnia and sleep disorders. When a child happens, he is so enthusiastic about everything. He wants to learn everything. The other day, my Gurukul principal was reporting to me, Swamiji, the kids are learning anything and everything. Somebody is learning piano, somebody is learning flute, somebody is learning tabla. They are learning anything and everything. Somebody is learning veena. That is what is life, I tell you. Enthusiasm is such, anything seen is grasped. Means anything heard should be repeated. Hand means anything seen, you should be able to recreate it. I tell you, from my experience, my life steeped in temples, dressing the deities, worship, in the religious dressings and religious jewelries. I tell you, it has given me the ability of anything I can see, I can create it. I don't need to learn to stitch this hanging cloth. I don't need to learn to weld this bar. I don't need to learn to operate this TV. I don't need to learn to carve this lion. Fortunately, in the young age, I was brought up in the ambience of temple, where I have seen all this so much. By seeing. Now anything I can see can be created by my hand. That is creativity. Please listen. Anything you see, you should grasp it. Anything you listen, you should be able to repeat it. Kids are born with so much of enthusiasm, but unfortunately, the so-called education, books, makes them completely tired and bored of life. Anything which brings tiredness and boredom in your life is poison. आज की सत्संग की सारांश है, लगातार स्वयं एवं दूसरों को लाभान्वित करते रहिए, तभी आप अपने अंतर एवं बाहर होने वाले थकावट एवं उपजाओं को दूर कर सकते हैं। तभी आपके अंदर आपका सृजन शक्ति विकसित होगा, जो आपको धन एवं संपत्ति को सृजन करना और उसका आनंद लेना दोनों का मार्ग दिखाएगा। Let your principles of reviving you be enriching you and enriching others, not just zeros in your bank balance. Every day, the zeros in your bank balance or the jealousy with your competitors is making you run. You will be tired and sick. Or if the principle of enriching you and enriching others makes you run, I tell you, it is eternal fuel. You are like a solar equipped vehicle. If the jealousy and greed is the reason, fuel for your vehicle, you are running on petrol any day, we may dry out. Your car cannot move. You are working on non-renewable energy source. If you are functioning on, if the principle of enriching yourself and enriching others is the fuel for you, I tell you, you are working on renewable life sources, renewable energy sources. You are like car which runs in solar power. You will never stop. You will run forever. Make yourself run with renewable energy forces, energy sources. That's good for you and to the world. कल के सत्संग में हम इन 4 तत्वों के अभ्यास से कैसे अपनी इच्छा अनुसार आप आपके जीवन का वास्तविकता को परिवर्तित कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे। कल पहले हम जीवन का पहले तत्व संपूर्ति के साथ कैसी अपनी इच्छा अनुसार आप अपनी जीवन का वास्तविकता को परिवर्तित कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे।
जीवन मुक्ति प्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं जगद्गुरुं वन्दे परमहंसाख्यं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्। आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्। आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशत्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्.
Yes, Nithyanandam. So, yes, so this is where it gets really practical. And as Bhagavan shared in this video very directly, that enriching yourself and others take away your tiredness and boredom. So, enriching is the
Exactly.
solution. And it's not just an action, but it's a complete lifestyle defined as not giving up on you and not giving up on others.
Yes, and that's such a powerful definition, which really changes people's lives once that hits them. And Swamiji lists some pretty incredible benefits when you commit to enriching. Fatigue and tiredness disappear from your being. Life starts to shower you with abundance.
Mm-hmm.
There's a significant shift in the way of your thinking, acting, and living. And even in business, it leads to higher profits. It expands your inner software. Your mind literally is writing new possibilities and allowing you to create the reality from your source, and the reality of your choice. And of course, you feel like life is fresh, new, not boring or tired.
Yes. And it's interesting how Swamiji breaks down boredom itself. He says, if you are bored of yourself, anything you do to cover it will make others bored of you. So he makes the fascinating distinction between joy and bliss. And joy is when others are not bored of you, and bliss is when you're not bored of yourself.
And Bhagavan takes it a step further, saying if others are bored of you, you're a masochist. And if you're bored of yourself, you're a sadist.
Mm-hmm.
So Swamiji describes boredom and tiredness as enemies of life and life imprisonment, preventing you from experiencing anything new.
And Swamiji applies this concept to many areas of life. For instance, in relationships, he asserts that only with the principle of enriching can marriage even be successful for more than a week. And he suggests that many marriages are entered into out of boredom, or fear that the other person might get bored, serving as a security knot rather than true completion. So he advocates for marriages based on principles, not in completions.
Right, and that's a radical perspective on marriage.
Right.
And Swamiji also connects it, obviously, to spiritual practice. To achieve the state of nirvikalpa samadhi, the state of enlightenment, deep meditation, one must first conquer boredom and tiredness about oneself. If not, the mind either slips away from boredom, or Swamiji says, slips away or sleeps away from tiredness.
And here's a really eye-opening point where he talks about the highest level of boredom being found in those who constantly work with the mind without integrating these principles. This, he says, is why there are such high suicide rates amongst, psychiatrists.
Yes.
Yeah. And they deal with minds but lack the personal methods to remove their own and others' boredom and tiredness. His mission, he says, is to revive the spiritual psychology practiced by the ancient Hindu Vedic sages, and he encourages his disciples to study psychology for this purpose.
And that really makes you think about how we approach mental well-being. Bhagavan also points out the education system, particularly in India and across the world, as being outdated and unproductive and designed to produce clerks. Bhagavan calls it a source of boredom and tiredness for youth, stifling their natural enthusiasm. And Bhagavan even jokingly suggests mechanical engineering books as a cure for insomnia due to their boring nature.
Oh, that's a good one. Finally, he offers a powerful analogy. Enriching oneself and others is like an eternal fuel or renewable energy force for life, akin to the solar-powered vehicle, allowing one to run forever. And in contrast, jealousy and greed are seen as non-renewable fuels that lead to exhaustion. this really brings home the idea of sustainable inner well-being.
Exactly. And as we wrap up, let's talk about something crucial. I mean, Swamiji has given us this solution of enriching yourself and others. But what's really needed for any of these spiritual practices, any of these superconscious breakthroughs, is the community. And Swamiji's been building these ecosystems for decades now all over the world, just so that we can help each other sustain and live these spiritual teachings, live this lifestyle, and have the lifestyle we were meant to have, which is focused on this moksha-centered lifestyle. And the Bhagavan teaches us that humans are designed to live in these supportive spiritual communities. And I think that's what the research is showing also.
Yes, the research is clear that isolation and loneliness are as harmful to health as smoking. 15 cigarettes a day, even studies show. But that is not just any community. It needs to be a conscious community that supports the growth and evolution, like the KAILASA ecosystems that Swamiji has established all over the world.
Right, and like you said, in KAILASA we see these principles in action. People of all ages, from our Gurukul adolescents to seniors, living together with shared spiritual purpose, supporting each other's growth and serving a greater vision.
And the energy in these communities are so palpable. And when you're surrounded by people who are committed to consciousness, growth, and service, tiredness and boredom naturally disappear.
Exactly. There's no room for it.
Exactly. And let's look at the statistics shown here. The conscious community impact. This is by the International Journal of Community Wellbeing. It was a global intentional community study where members of intentional spiritual communities report 78% higher life satisfaction, 65% better mental health, and 43% more energy compared to isolated individuals.
And for those who can't physically join a KAILASA community or ecosystem, Bhagavan teaches how to create a conscious community wherever you are, through the online sanghas, the local spiritual groups, the local temples, KAILASA ecosystems, and even transforming your existing relationships through this conscious communication in these life-positive teachings.
Yes, and the key is regular gathering with others who share your commitment with growth and consciousness and service, and this creates what Swamiji calls the collective spiritual momentum. The energy of the group amplifies everyone's individual practice.
Exactly. It's so important.
Yes, and that collective integrity Swamiji has been teaching.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, as this podcast comes to a close, let's remember a few things. Tiredness and boredom are not character flaws, which we are led to believe from a very young age, or inevitable parts of aging as we get older. They're actually spiritual symptoms calling you back to your true nature of boundless energy, joy, and bliss, and purpose.
Yes, and purpose. And whether you're 18 or 80, you have the power to transform your experience through conscious choices and spiritual practices and connection with your spiritual purpose.
And you can just start with something simple, begin with a conscious connection, watching a satsang, doing meditation, doing yoga, instead of scrolling through your phone and just losing yourself in the social media. Just do these small changes and notice what changes in your energy levels. Be a witness.
And also, we have access to our resources, our spiritual resources gifted by Bhagavan, like the KAILASA's Bhagavad Gita decoded book written by Swamiji, which is available online PDF for free. And
of course, there's a Living Enlightenment book.
And the Living Enlightenment book, and all these amazing resources.
And of course, Swamiji's YouTube channel, which we're live today. And there's Swamiji's programs are on thousands of platforms in almost every language across the world. So wherever you are, you have access to these teachings which can help you live this conscious life. And we would sincerely invite everyone to KAILASA's Krishna Janmashtami celebrations taking place tomorrow. And it's an example of one of the core aspects of Hinduism where in the Hindu calendar, there's so many celebrations throughout the year. Why? Swamiji has described this as people need this this constant engagement, this social environment, a positive way to engage, to offer your gratitude to the divine, and do have this very positive fun. And the Hindu calendar is so full of these different holidays and celebrations and rituals. And tomorrow is a very special, it's actually already started in India. It's a very special one, celebrating the birth of Lord Krishna. And you mentioned the Bhagavad Gita. That's a perfect book to read on this auspicious occasion. And the Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, will be giving a presidential address at 7 p.m. So we welcome everyone to tune in and join us for this most joyous and beautiful celebration of Krishna Janmashtami. And I think that brings us to a close. And if you don't have anything else to tell our viewers, I think we can wrap it up. And if you have any feedback, leave it in the comments, or any topics you want to discuss, we can plan for those as well. And thank you. Just want to thank everyone.
Yes, and we hope that our viewers can join us tomorrow. We have live presidential address tomorrow with Bhagavan, and celebrate Krishna Janmashtami with KAILASA.
Yes, okay. Shall we close with the Purna Mantra?
Yes.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padakal Pranamastu. Om Nithyanandam.